All right, King Charles III, visiting King Charles III, had a hectic time earlier today with a very tight schedule. He first visited Karura Cemetery, where victims of World War are buried. Now, the king was accompanied with Queen Camila Bowles. Now, our reporter Brenda Zederedido had been following this story and now joins us live from Karura Forest, where the royal pair is expected with an update. What is the latest on your side, Brenda?
Yes, Trix, you've put it rightly. Earlier on, we were with King Charles III and Queen Camila at Karura, where they were just laying wreath to the fallen heroes of the country during World War I. And of course, they gave medals to some of the World War I veterans and World War II veterans who lost their medals during World War II. And right now, later on, of course, he went to the UN headquarters, where he addressed the UN's turf when it comes to matters climate change and the environment, which is so dear to the king. And then, of course, still in that line of matters environment, we are at Karura Forest, where King Charles III and Queen Camila are expected here. A number of activities have been laid down here. One, he will be flagging off a team of young athletes, if I may ask Kemei, just to try and give you a shot of some of the young girls and boys who will be taking the 1,500 kilometers race. And so Kipchoge Keino is already here waiting for King Charles III to do the flagging off of this race. They'll be doing that. They'll be doing that together. And of course, so they've lined up, they're ready on their starting point. They will be, flagging off these young boys and girls. Then, later on, what we also expect from their majesties is that Trix, they will be doing a tree planting. Now, this tree planting is being done based on a request of a young Kenyan girl who wrote a letter to King Charles III early this year that she really desired to plant a tree with the king. So the visitation to Kenya, based on the request by President William Ruto, has actually earned this young girl that request. It's actually going to be implemented in a few minutes from now in terms of them planting the tree together. So of course it is a moment for this young girl to shine and just to tell the king, thank you for heeding to my request through the letter that she wrote the king earlier on this year. After this, Trix, the king's itinerary is still packed. He will be having a reception at the British High Commissioner's residence in Gigiri, where he will be having a luncheon with various stakeholders, right from the media industry, environmentalist, activists. He will be having a luncheon with them, and then there will be a discussion, and then of course he will be going to the Nairobi kitchen just to see the sort of different delicacies that are being cooked here in the country. I'm really trying to get a hold of Kipchoge, the man of the moment, who will be talking to King Charles any minute from now. Kipchoge, thank you for joining us here live on KTN News. You meeting the king, is it the first time that you're meeting King Charles III?
Yes, it's my first time to meet King Charles III. Yeah, yes.
All right, and kindly tell us the activities that is lined up over here.
The activity circle is about conservation. The king will be planting the tree and then pluck off the run to show that actually is conservation. Actually, a sister and brother with the running, and running actually is sister and brother with the conservation. That's why you are here.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing that the young girls and boys are ready for that. Talk to us about this race.
The young girls and boys actually shows that we want to make this country a running country. It shows that actually we are sensitizing youth and kids actually to love sport and especially running. Mm-hmm. That's why we are here to show them solidarity with them, to flag off them, see them running, telling them to tell their friends actually to run.
And then my last question is, why Karura Forest? You'd have done this, you'd have done the flagging off at the Nyayo National Stadium, at Kasarani Stadium. Why inside Karura Forest?
This is where conservation has been done in a good way. Wangari Maathai actually, I think is coming here in honor of Wangari Maathai to see what she made in this forest, and you can see the benefits. All the people are coming here to run, to enjoy, to talk, and to do other activities. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Kipchoge, for that. And that is Eliud Kipchoge, who was talking to us about the reason as to why he's here in terms of flagging off these young boys and girls. They'll be doing that flagging off together with the king. And then Trix, just before I hand it over to you, I've just been reminded that we also expect the daughter of Wangari Maathai. The late Wangari Maathai played a crucial role in terms of conserving Karura forest when it comes to matters environment. So the daughter will also be having a conversation with King Charles III and Queen Camila concerning, the conservation of Karura forest and other, when it comes to environment, conserving our environment. So Trix, I understand from my colleague Emmanuel too that the King Charles III has actually is done with his speech at the UN headquarters. Is actually making his way here. So once that happens, once he arrives here together with Queen Camila, we shall be giving you the live coverage. Over to you, Trix, in case you have a question.
No, just waiting on you, Brenda, to give us the blow-by-blow coverage that you have been giving since earlier on in the day. We're going to catch up now with Emmanuel To, who has been earlier on, who was at Gigiri giving us the latest on the King Charles's speech. He earlier on was, as you mentioned, at Karura World War II cemetery, where